as I'm thinking about how we condition ourselves and how we might have conditioned ourselves to think and believe, and I'm aware that if we say that we want growth, but our minds are conditioned for comfort, we will always shrink back when the time comes to step out of our comfort zone. And as I think on that, I'm aware that many of us have our minds conditioned for something other than growth. We think we'd like to have growth. We think we'd like to be in a different place financially. And although those are all things that are real, when we're conditioned for comfort, we will always shrink back in the face of opportunity of growth. I'm aware that, as the scripture says, that we should not be conformed to this world, but transformed by the renewing of the mind. The renewing of the mind is not a one-time situation, a one-time deal. It is a lifelong journey of continuing to grow and continuing to renew the mind, to develop the mind, to create a better belief system of what's possible, and maybe changing our thought process around our current business strategies or whatever it might be, to be able to continue growing, developing, to stay consistent long enough to break through, to eventually have more than enough, to have an abundance. But that all takes a change of mind. You see, when God looks at us, He rarely works on symptoms. He wants to change the heart and the mind first, because if He can change the mind, the symptoms will take care of themselves. We can find ourselves with so many symptoms that we'd like to change every day. We'd like this to change. We'd like that to change. We'd like something else to change. But most of us aren't interested in changing our mind. We're not necessarily interested in transforming the mind by renewing it. We're interested in circumstances to change. All of us would be grateful if circumstances would change. But if circumstances could change without me changing my mind, that would be the number one option, right? But it never works out that way. We can never expect circumstances to change without changing of the mind, without changing of the thought process, without controlling one's thoughts. That's why meditation is so crucial and important, because meditation is a form of controlling one's mind, is a form of taking control of that mind that likes to go in every direction and have many thoughts in a matter of a second. It can go many places in just 1 second. Its ability to gather information and produce it in a very short time. And if we're not in control of that most powerful device within us, which is the mind, it will often take us directions we don't want to go, and to creating outcomes we don't want to create, we don't want in our life, because the mind just doesn't care. It just wants what feels best for the moment. And if we allow our body and our mind to revolve around what's best for the moment, our mind will continue focusing on that, because it gives the experience of what we want, comfort, whatever it might be that we're looking for the moment. When discomfort becomes very uncomfortable, we find ourselves allowing our mind to flow in the direction of sheer comfort, because comfort obviously feels so much better than stretching oneself. And if we can be in a comfort zone, at least for the moment, it felt better. Problem is, the next time you try to stretch yourself and get yourself uncomfortable by understanding that nothing great ever comes in one's comfort zone. You get all these motivational quotes, and all of a sudden you're excited to take a step, but then your mind comes back and reminds you that, but if you just give that up for a moment, at least you'll feel good for a moment. And then it comes back the next time you come up with the idea to do something to grow yourself and reminds you that you've never followed through so far. What makes you think you'll follow through now? And then at that point in time, that realization hits you, you're absolutely right. I've never followed through so far. Probably won't now either. And then we start to surrender. And before we know it, life is 10 times more miserable than the discomfort that we had thought about stepping into when we were motivated. Let me tell you, to get what you want isn't going to be easy. To get what you want will mean stepping out of your comfort zone. Yes, so far, sometimes it'll be like being out on a ship in the ocean where you can't even see the shoreline. So far out, can't even see the shore. All you can see is water as far as you can see. Yes, that's how far we sometimes must get away from our comfort zone. So far out there that there is no comfort zone in sight. You can't even see the boundaries of it anymore. You're way out there. Yes, that's my challenge for you. Get yourself out of your comfort zone so far that it's kind of like being out on a ship in the ocean where you can't see the shoreline. That's when the mind starts to condition itself to believe that, hey, it is important that I do this. And if you can ever condition your mind to get in the uncomfort zone, it will start to move you in that direction. Of course, it needs help. It needs for you to understand that you must stay consistent with it. But when you do, that's when the amazing results begin to happen. Over and over and over. You start realizing that, hey, the things you thought about and dreamed about are starting to happen. Problem is, all of a sudden you'll start seeing growth in yourself and your business and whatever it is that you're doing. And then you start getting comfortable again. But if you're going to go to the next level, you're going to have to step outside of that comfort zone again. I know, it'll feel worse then because you've had a taste of success. And then it's worse to step out than it was the first time. See, I don't know who I'm talking to, and I don't know what this means to you. But I know that all of us need a transforming of the mind, and the transforming of the mind is never in one's comfort zone. It's always in the uncomfort zone. It's always challenging us. It's always testing our boundaries. And our mind is constantly playing tricks on us, trying to convince us to stay small. Play small. Play it safe. Be safe. It's always trying to do those things so that it can control us, because the moment we surrender to feeling good, to comfort, the moment we surrender to comfort is the moment that our mind has won a victory. But the moment that you commit yourself to the uncomfort zone, get yourself so far out, is when you feel the victory. And let me tell you, when you feel the victory, it is beautiful. You just want to call everybody and tell them about how good it feels, how wonderful it is to now have stepped outside of your comfort zone, how wonderful it is to now start experiencing some of the results of being all that God has called you to be. You all of a sudden realize this is beautiful. But you see, the next day when you get back into an environment that you're challenged to step out of your comfort zone, that next day, you see your mind is fresh. It has every reason in the book why you should stay comfortable that day. It has every reason in the book why you should not get out of your comfort zone. It has every reason in the book why you should stay small. It has every reason in the book why those people that you would like to serve, it's okay. Somebody else can serve them. You see, it's a constant battle to fight with the mind. But the more you do it, the more you condition it for success. And the more it's conditioned for success, the more it's okay with being out of its comfort zone. The more it's okay with being out of its comfort zone, the more success you start to experience. My friends, my desire for every person on this call is that you have success in every area of your life. Relationships, marriage, spiritual, financial, that you would have abundance in every area of life. Jesus said, he said, I came to give you life and give it more abundantly. You see, my question to you is the same as Caleb did, or Joshua. He said, how long will you be slack in taking what's rightfully yours? Guys, make it a great day, and do me a favor. As always, remember, don't settle for less than who you are. May God bless you guys, and thank you all for the messages.